Many people write off Huawei because of their lack of Google. But I think the Huawei Pura 80 is making waves in South Africa. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Pura 80 Pro, one of the best photography and videography cameras in the market right now. This device is a camera-centered flagship from Huawei. Imaging power, a stylish design and aesthetic, interesting software trades off, but let's take a look at how it lives up to the hype as a South African. So in terms of the specs, the display is a 6.8-inch OLED display with a resolution of 2848 by 1276. It has an adaptive refresh rate at 120 Hz. And in terms of its peak brightness, it has a 3000 nit peak brightness thanks to its X-Tune display. Now, in terms of the design is amazing. It has a glazed texture design and a sunburst pattern for the red variant. And the glass is a Cornell glass 2nd generation for tough protection. Many people, in terms of the design, don't like the camera bump because let's not be shy. This is a massive camera bump. In terms of its dimensions, right? The device itself is not light by any means. It weighs 219 grams. And I think 150 of that or more is those 3 cameras itself. So in terms of the dimensions is 163 by 76 by 8.3 millimeters. In terms of an operating system now, it's running Harmony OS, which is Huawei's ecosystem. So unfortunately, there's no Google, and it's software EMUI 14.2. Now, when it comes to the processor is a Kirin 9020, an octa-core processor. And in terms of RAM, this comes with 12 gigs of RAM. And in terms of storage, there's 256, a 512 gigabyte version, and a 1 terabyte version in terms of storage as well. In terms of network, it's running 5G and Wi-Fi 7 with Bluetooth, NFC for supported payments, and is charged by USB Type-C and supports stereo speakers. Now, what is the battery that's powering this massive device? It's a 5170 milliamp hour battery with 100 watts wired supercharging, as well as it supports a staggering 80 watts wireless supercharge. Now, when it comes to the camera rear is a triple camera setup with a 50 megapixel, right, main, but it's a 50 megapixel 1-inch main camera. It has a 48 megapixel telephoto lens plus a 48 megapixel ultra wide for macro shots, which is absolutely amazing. Now, in terms of the front camera is a 13 megapixel camera. Some of the other features is the fact that you get Chroma X image or X-Midge color, HDR night video, an AI cinematography engine, macro telephoto with 5 centimeters focus. If there's one thing Huawei wants you to remember with this device, this is a camera first, then a phone, right? Even though it doesn't ship with Google, its camera advantages make it well worth it, right? So let me show you what it can do. So Huawei uses what it calls a 1-inch ultra lighting sensor, which is the main sensor, and it's the largest size sensor on a smartphone. It captures more light, reduces noise, and preserves detail in challenging scenes. So the telephoto lens, a 48 megapixel, and the 40 megapixel ultra wide macro module rounds out a versatile setup. So you also have the 1 times, 4 times, 10 times, and even a 20 times zoom. Now, even at higher zoom levels, the Pura 80 Pro holds up impressively. You can retain detail and clarity, and it's not just good for a non-Google phone. It's strong even by camera standards, replacing my Sony ZV-E10. In low light, the large sensor truly shines. The phone tames shadows, holds onto color, and even recovers highlights without blowing it out. You have your HDR cinematic video, which helps further in tricky lighting situations. The macro telephoto lets you get very close as 5 centimeters, while keeping good detail. Meanwhile, the ultra-wide lens captures expansive scenes without distorting the image. You can switch creative perspectives in a single shot. Selfies with the 13 megapixel front camera are sharp, natural, and solid for social use, especially considering the premium imaging power in its device. It more than holds its own with this device. So when filming, stabilization does a good job smoothing out motion. Colors stay pleasing, and the detail holds at high resolutions. For content creators, vloggers, it's a capable tool that I think will definitely replace dedicated videography and photography gear. In short, Huawei is pushing the narrative. We might not have Google, but we will blow you away with what we can do. And here they deliver on that. For anyone who values imaging over apps, this phone is a serious contender. So let's see who it's for next. So who should even consider the Pura 80 Pro? It's for power users, content creators, and especially photography enthusiasts, especially those who are comfortable navigating non-Google environment. And this phone is for people willing to prioritize camera performance, even if they have to manage software limitations. So you have to address the fact that this lacks Google, number one, and there are some trade-offs. Huawei uses the app gallery, Petal Search, and Huawei mobile services instead of Google Play. And you may need to manually sideload and find equivalents for apps that are not present. And we have to mention some of the pros, like the deep Huawei ecosystem, very eccentric integrations and optimization for performances. There are also some cons, including the fact that there are app compatibility issues, possibly missing apps from the Play Store, and you have to have a learning curve when you're using something that you're not necessarily used to. Despite that, if your top priority is to prioritize camera, the Pura 80 Pro gives you tools that many Google using phones can't, and that's the biggest point. Now, in terms of pricing, from the Huawei main store, you can pick up the device for $24,999. On Vodacom, you can pick the device for $28,999, and for a contract, you're looking at paying a minimum of 1,380 Rand per month. So coming to the pros and the cons with this device. The pros is the fact that you have a top tier camera hardware, an absolutely large 1-inch sensor, telephoto, wide, strong image quality as well. The second is the fact that you have a strong charging with 100 watt wired, 80 watt wireless, encompassed within the 5,170 milliamp hour battery. And the third is the fact that you have a stylish build, premium quality, and the glaze texture is absolutely amazing with the robust glass finish. The fourth is the fact that you have Huawei's imaging software and color tuning via Xmij and Ultra Chroma. You have good connectivity features like 5G, Wi-Fi 7, stereo speakers. When it comes down to the cons, the fact that we have no Google services and apps, it will lead you into running with compatibility issues, and there's an extreme learning curve with the device as well. The app ecosystem limitations as well. Some apps are unavailable and some require extreme workarounds. The third is the fact that this has a heavy weight. It's 209 grams, so it's not light by any means. And you also have regional software update uncertainty support, especially in South Africa, right? Support may be lagging and stuff like that. And the price, I mean, it's not the cheapest of devices, but considering the amount of power that you have built in, especially with the camera, it leaves people questioning, do I really need Google in my life, or do I want absolutely amazing photos and video? So I am properly impressed by what Huawei has done here. The camera system is absolutely stand out. In many scenarios, images look better than any phone and even better than some cameras can capture, right? Yes, you have the Google hurdle for many users, right? And there will be trade-offs. But for someone where imaging, who's imaging first and willing to adapt, it's one of the boldest moves that Huawei has made in 2025. And if you're a photographer or a videographer, I'd seriously be considering it. I mean, this has become our daily, I don't even need to worry about taking a camera with me anymore. I literally pull out this, and the images and stuff that we get are absolutely next level. So you don't have to worry about cameras, lenses, and all those things. If you are local and you want imaging first, this is the device that is changing the landscape, even without the need for Google. That's my take on the Huawei Pura 80 Pro. And it's a phone that says, we might not have Google, but let's win you over anyway. With power, an excellent camera, and innovation that is next level. So if you're a photographer, a creative, and you're pushing the bounds of images, this device definitely needs your attention, not just to think about, but to definitely get. And a huge shout out to Huawei South Africa for gifting me this device that has actually leveled up our content creation, truth be told. So a huge shout out to them for gifting us this device. And guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can let me know by giving a like rating if you did. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. And as always guys, thanks for watching. My name is Prashant and I'll catch you in the next video.